I remember when I was going through my divorce and, I didn't have my kids. I was by myself. Like, I would just sit in my apartment at the time. I'm like, and then my house, I was just like, okay, I don't know what to do.
Here we are.
I had to get like a dog, I had to get my Schnauzer, Eggsy, and he was a lifesaver. He really was. And man, that dog, I think he thought he was gonna die because I was just squeezing him so hard, like eyeballs popping, like he's some like a stuffed animal.
Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Don Draper's Den, an after-hours conversation with two fools in the marketing game, talking culture, talking trash, having conversations that really don't belong in the boardroom. I'm Chris. This is Ernie. Guys, we appreciate your support, so please share and comment and like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. So without further ado, pour yourself a glass and let's get into this.
All right, cheers.
Nice to you, bro. Well, here we are.
We've been watching Alone recently. So we're watching Naked and Afraid, and then we started watching Alone. Have you watched that show? Survival show?
It's like a reality TV thing? No, I don't watch reality TV.
Oh, well.
I'm real enough, bro.
If there's anything fun to watch, though, Alone is a good one to watch. Because it's about survival. Like, what would you do? And the whole premise is, I like Alone better because the premise is like you have to try to be the last man standing. So there's like, let's say there's 8 or 10 people that they drop in the middle of a jungle.
And they're all
different
locations.
Okay. Like they can't even reach each other.
Right.
I mean, I guess they could, but that's not the point of the game.
Right.
And you're fully clothed. You get to bring like a certain amount of fishing hooks, certain amount of equipment, but that's it. And then you see how long whoever can stay there the longest wins. And I thought it was really cool.
I mean, all right. Hold on. They're like, I would imagine they're kind of pulling from the pool of like Marines and wildlife pros and shit like that, right?
Yeah, it's not just typically not just some person who's never been out in the woods.
I think that's the show I want. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, because
but the problem is they're never going to last. I mean,
no, they're going to last, but they're going to last a different length of time.
Yeah, but it'll be like a matter of days because they can't catch food and they don't know what like fruit to eat.
All the better.
No,
all the more entertaining.
That doesn't last long enough. You need a series. You need 13 episodes.
Oh, so it's the same people for 13 episodes.
Yeah, or whatever, however long. But it's now Naked and Afraid is just one episode.
Yeah.
And they have to last 21 days.
Yeah.
Completely naked.
Right.
They get like one item and they get like a satchel or a bag. And that's it.
No, you know what, man? I want the pros. I want the pros to pick the gear. Right. Yeah. This is my pitch. This is my show. So I want the pros to pick the gear. Right. And no prep at all. You can't prep them. Oh, or maybe the pro. Okay. So I'm like a Steve Ranella, or shout out to Steve. Steve Ranella type of guy, right? So I'm wildlife. I'm a hunting dude. I got it all going on, right? Then you give him like a pool of, say, 5 people, right? Just regular folks, right? Between particular ages, you know what I mean? Yeah. Some real off the couch types, kind of like ourselves. And then he's like, all right, this one, right? And they kind of like bet. And you can have like different pros, bet each other, you know what I mean? Like bet on their horse kind of.
Yeah.
But then, okay, so then you pack the bag for them, right? But don't explain. But don't explain it to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's interesting to me. That would be very interesting. Like, because how are you going to use it? Maybe this is obvious.
The problem is, pro. Right. Yeah, but like, I don't know. I think that it would get to be really like not good TV because you just see somebody who like they all of a sudden they're like, I'm cold. I can't do this. I'm tapping out now. Like,
see, but that's it. No. You've got to incentivize the person, right? So, all right, look, if you've got a survivability rate here, we're not going to kill anybody or anything.
Well, that's the other thing. You're dropping them out in Amazon. Like a snake kills them. They don't know what to do.
Oh, yeah, let's not go to the Amazon, right? I don't know where, but we're gonna go someplace. I don't know. We're going somewhere, right? But the point is, that I want to see the breakdown, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like, look, you've got to last 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. You could not eat for 3 days.
But see, that's bad TV.
Water.
Right, that's bad TV though too, because let's say they get water.
Yeah.
And then you could literally just sit in their tent like for 3 days. Be like, okay, I'll last 3 days.
No, there's got to be. You're right. There's got to be an update.
I'm gonna fast for 3 days.
Yeah.
Done. No, it's after 3 days that it gets exciting.
No.
Because now like they're starving and they're like,
And if they're carb addicted too, like most of us are.
Yeah.
And then you know what I mean? They're like, there's no French fries going. Now your system.
I think people have thought about that, but it just like determined that they got to have some level. Of survival, because there's a lot of pansies out there. They'll go and just start crying. Like, I can't do this.
I want to see that.
I can't do this. Now, have you ever seen that Japanese reality TV? That
it's with the one guy, right?
Controversial, yeah.
That
was messed up,
dude.
That was messed up.
Wrong.
Why did they
gotta go so far, dude?
But that was like live TV.
That's the
24. Like you could watch him, and he's sitting there going crazy in his little room. And then only to then send him blindfold him, send him to another little room.
I don't know what's
after like I don't know how long, very long time.
Yeah.
And then they took him and they blindfolded him again.
Do you remember the name of the show or anything?
I can't remember.
Or, like this is in the 90s though, right?
Yeah, it was like a while ago.
They're fucking
then the third time they sent him to another room.
How long was the total?
I want to say like a year or something. Yeah.
That's cruel and unusual.
Cruel and unusual. And then they sent him to the third time. They sent him to another room. But people, it was like one-way mirror or something like that. Like people could see him in the live audience. And he's like losing his mind. I
wonder what it was like for the people.
Until they like let him out. And then he's like, what's going on? He's like, we've been watching you this whole time. And he's like,
what?
Yeah.
I would be so fucking pissed, bro. Yeah. I don't know if it was in Japan, right? So I don't know, bro. I'd have it out for society.
In the meantime, like his family, he didn't know what he was getting into.
Yeah.
His family didn't know.
Right.
In the meantime, they're just watching the nation laugh at his son, their son.
Dude. And it's so weird. Like in Japan, it's such a polite and kind of formal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's just so much rules to it all.
Yeah.
So much politeness.
But on the other hand, no.
They're
because,
out of their minds,
the whole adage, the nail that sticks up gets hammered down.
Yeah. So
this was the nail that the whole country was just laughing at. I mean, and that's a serious thing. Like it's bad.
Yeah.
Like in Japan, if you're the one that they place a rose on your desk, school desk,
right?
You're the nail. Like, and the kids will pick it.
Bro.
Chris is the nail.
That's it.
And
now you got the school shooter.
Miserable that year.
Yeah.
Because everybody's going to laugh at you, pick on you. You're the awkward one. Why? And so it's kind of like that. Like they picked this one guy that everybody, the whole nation's going to like just laugh at. In the meantime, he's losing his shit, Yeah. He's like wearing, like, I don't even think they gave him underwear. So he's just walking around. He's trying to wash himself in a sink and like.
That's fucked up. I mean, he's sued though, right? You gotta get some come up on that. You can't just be like, okay, guy, well, thanks.
I don't know.
Get the fuck out of here. I'd be super pissed.
Because he signed all the documentation.
Yeah.
Basically didn't know what he signed. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's like the Truman Show, but worse. Like
way worse.
The Truman Show, like everything was his convenience. Like he's had a house, he had whatever his friend, but
wild there, man.
It's all fake.
You lose a world war, and look what happens. Wild motherfucker.
This guy couldn't leave the room.
And Germany, man, it's as buttoned up as a society, and westernized society, as buttoned up as you can get. In those two cultures, right? Like German, they're all very Prussian. Eins zwei, this is the way it'll be. You know what I mean? And Japanese, the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
But boy, do they go fucking off the rails. They do some wild shit.
Yeah.
Oh man, no, dude. That makes me mad. You know, I want to reach out to the guy like, hey man, you should still be pissed about that. You know what I mean?
He ended up turning his life around though. Like he became like famous, and then he used his popularity. Like when there was the whole, I don't know if it was an earthquake or if it was
the tsunami.
He used his popularity to help the local villagers and stuff. Yeah.
I wouldn't help. No motherfucking way.
Right? You fucking laughed at me.
I'd become a citizen of the country that hates the Japanese. You know what I mean? I'd be like, fuck you people. I'm leaving this motherfucker right now.
He basically was like that, but then he like turned it into a positive thing. But can you imagine that? No.
Better man than me. I hope they gave him some money, bro.
Because, like even in prisons, it's the isolation. Yeah. That's how they torture. Like, oh, we're putting you into isolation.
Yeah, in the hole.
The hole.
Right.
Like you go nuts. Like, because like that's like against human nature.
Right.
We need to interact. We need to have community. We need to see the sun.
I felt that in Florida when I first moved down there. So I didn't have any friends, and for whatever reason, it just worked out. I just hadn't had a hug. It's funny is I've heard Rogan talk about that too. Now I'm thinking about it, but I didn't have a hug for a minute. You know what I mean? And then
physical contact. You need that.
Yeah. I mean, it's always handshakes, But and then my buddy Phil was down there at the time and just caught up with him. Hey man, what's going on? I was like, oh God, I'm not alone in the world.
Right,
you know what I mean? But I didn't realize it. Yeah. But it was like
you're like holding on to him. He's like, all right, Chris.
All right, bro. What's the deal?
Hold on a second.
Take it easy, man.
Just get a few more minutes.
It's hot here in Florida. What are you doing? But yeah, it felt like
I've never seen Chris like this before.
It felt like something melted off me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like a shell.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember when I was going through my divorce and I didn't have my kids. I was by myself. Like I would just sit in my apartment at the time. I'm like, and then my house. I was just like, okay, I don't know what to do.
Here we are.
I had to get like a dog. I had to get my Schnauzer, Eggsy, and he was a lifesaver. He really was. And man, that dog, I think he thought he was gonna die because I was just squeezing him so hard, like eyeballs popping. Like he's some like
a stuffed animal.
Stuffed animal.
Yeah.
But man, I just held on to that dog.
That's funny.
And then I'm like, I need to have people like socialization. So I just went to the nearest bar.
Yeah.
And I was a fixture there. I just sat there to end. And eventually, like, I got to know everybody. Oh, that's Ernie.
Yep.
And then that's how I met Hannah.
Yeah.
Because eventually she was a bartender there and started just talking.
That's funny, man.
But it's like you need to have that social interaction. You need to have, which is why I also wonder, like, how is, social media and all that, how is that changing, our brains, our DNA a little bit, because it's interaction, but it's a different kind of interaction. Or playing video games and you're interacting, but you're not. There's no physical touch.
Yeah.
It
doesn't hit this. I mean, look. There's first of all.
Well, at least for us, it doesn't seem to hit the same way.
Not even close. But I think for, how can I put it? It's like for us in our 40s. And for those of us in our late 30s even, right? And there's exceptions, obviously. People grow up on a farm and shit. But my main point is that, like, we grew up, face to face, you just called a motherfucker. Hey, man, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Right? When is he showing up? Said he'd be here at 2:30. I don't know. And then they show up.
Yeah. right.
They didn't text us. They would come up. There's none of that, right? Which sometimes I'll admit is convenient, right? But the instant, like engagement, like people come over and, oh shit, yeah, I think we got something to eat. Come on in, like, and you figure it out.
We should do that. We should, just between us.
Yeah.
Just try to do that every once in a while.
Yeah.
Just, hey, let's just stop by Chris's place, knock on the door.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, just what's going on,
bro? Just boots on, dick out. What's up, dude?
Hey, what's up? Like,
come on in if you dare.
I'll text next time.
just all oiled up. Like, what are you doing?
What's going on?
Doesn't matter. Want to jump in?
You interrupted my spa night.
Yeah.
You have like the face peel.
Yeah,
thing.
little face mask. I've never done that.
Round circles because you had cucumber slices on your
that shit
eyes.
Bullshit too, bro. Cucumbers is bullshit. Tell me how it works.
I don't think, like I said, it's placebo effect for me. If you say it's going to calm me, I'll be like, oh yeah, put more. put
whole ass cucumbers on your face.
Put cucumbers on my whole body. They're like,
it burns. You use pickles. So, anyways, I was gonna say. So yeah, we know what it's like to have that, face to face. That's how we grew up.
Mm-hmm.
What the weird part is like my kids, right? Like Lily, like there isn't that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's not to say they don't have friends. Of course, go over to a friend's house and play and all that shit. But the level of engagement that is like disembodied.
Yeah.
And the way that's, and it's nothing new. I mean, we know that like young girls get the shit beat out of them on social media.
Yeah.
It never goes away.
Mm-mm.
Right. You can, anytime you want to feel like complete shit, you can go back to the comment right there and it's fucking there all day. And all the bullies can get at you when you're at home.
Mm-hmm.
It just never goes away. So, and the negative self-image and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, man, it's rough out there.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't really know how that's going to affect them when they're adults.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because right now you can see like, all right, there's higher, and has been, by the way, it's not anything new at this point now. It's 10, 15 years gone by where we're like, oh yeah, based on the data, the higher suicide rates, it negatively impacts this group here and that group there.
Mm-hmm.
And just that's what it is now.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how does that translate into what happens when we get older? Those adults.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
I know that I've seen a couple 25-ish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm like, this motherfucker's never had a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I'm not talking about like a I don't know if I'm a professional conversation guy or some shit. I don't even know what that would be. But like, to just walk into a room in a business setting, which by the way, you kind of do have to have your chops, right? But geez, at least to just carry a little how's the weather. I mean, we're not looking for much, you know, but like real bona fide, unable to convert. Like, I don't know where to start, and it's like, oh man, what's business going to look like?
Right.
As I eventually retire, you people aren't going to be able to talk.
Right.
Right.
I mean, I think of like, even for business, you mentioned business, just like I've been thinking about this recently. Like I got to get out there. Like you could be cooped in, like a home. You could be a homebody even in business, where you're just stuck behind your computer. It's like I need to get out of there. Like I got to go and call up some people, do lunch, do coffee, just go to a networking group, go speak, do something, because you start getting cooped
why we
up.
got the push now. But it's funny. It's one thing when you're like in the groove. Right. And obviously our actual jobs are vastly different here. But when you're in a groove, like, you know what, when I'm doing my thing on like LinkedIn, for example, right? I use probably 30 minutes to 90 minutes in a day. I might be on LinkedIn. And there's genuine engagement. Like I'm really reaching out to people and I'm reviewing stuff and I'm looking up companies and all this kind of thing. So while that might be true, you do run the risk of like, doing busy work that doesn't go anywhere, right? You do also run the risk of like, it's like the feeling of accomplishment is like, it's digital accomplishment, right? But did you actually move the needle? Have you shaken a hand?
Have you shaken a hand?
Like what, you know what I mean? So it can create this false win, I think, right? And I think that's just kind of the digital experience. As I really think about it, I'm like, yeah, man, you have friends online, and I get it. Sure, you have friends online. But you don't know what the handshake feels like.
Right. Like, have you ever seen that? There's a reel that went out maybe months ago, last year sometime, where a guy he's playing video games online with his friends, all his friends. And he goes, hey, he kind of asks a serious questions like, hey, like if I was in trouble or whatever, did you see
one
that?
Dude? Yeah. And they just start shitting.
And they start shitting on him.
It's so good.
Like, and on one hand, I think the way that it was positioned was, this is kind of like how guys
guys talk to each other. But
on the other hand, it's like I was kind of saddened a little bit,
right?
Because like, yeah, that's hilarious, fucking funny, and guys do that kind of shit. We rip on each other even when you're down.
Yeah.
But you kind of wonder, like, but no, seriously, guys, if something were to happen,
Really, what would
are you guys there for them?
Right.
You know, like I get the whole laughing shit, and that's part of coping. Like we just laugh it off and we rip on each other.
Right.
We cope and we just, that's how we get through shit.
Right.
But are you gonna be there?
Yeah. Are you really gonna?
Are you really gonna be there? You know,
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I would think. Yeah. You know what's weird in jiu-jitsu is I've seen a lot more guys shed a tear, or be vulnerable anyway, and have those kind of moments. But it's in those on the mats, right, and I don't really think that's appreciated. Like you have to be there to understand. You know what I mean? It's very weird. And then like the diversity of people that are in a jiu-jitsu, like there's not really any correlations there, right?
Except for jiu-jitsu, which is a big correlation.
Well, yeah,
you guys are all
but then like in other words, it's not like they're all nurses or cops or this, So it's like this weird group of friends, right? I wasn't there, but I heard at the old gym, there was like a known, he might have been out of the pen, like a felon for sure. Yeah. It was a bunch of cops. And it was, it's just a wild scene, man. They all rolled together and it's fine, right? Yeah. But if it were the streets, they're really not in the same team.
No.
So anyway, so it makes for odd bedfellows. But yeah, the vulnerability that you see there it's so important. I say it all the time, and the bro hang is key.
It's key.
Is totally key.
For guys, it's key. Yeah. Especially. Yeah. Oh, for girls. I mean, women too. I mean, it's just a human thing. Right. You got to have your tribe. Yeah. I tell Hannah all the time that like, until I met the MC and my brother's there, like it's just been a lonely journey. It really has. Yeah. And I think partly too, because like in Cincinnati, it's also different. Right. I don't know if you've noticed it, but it's just a little different here in Cincinnati. Like people hang out with their families or their longtime friends. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. And it's hard to break. Cagey. It's hard to break into that. I didn't have that type of feeling in Cleveland or in the Akron area, But come down to Cincinnati, it's like, all right, anybody want? And when you do hang out, you almost feel like they I don't know what the word is. They're worried for you or they feel sorry for you. Yeah, yeah. Like, yeah, no, come on. No, you can hang out with us. And then you just feel like the outsider in the group, Right. And so, until I met the NC guys and, my brothers there, it's been a lonely journey, Yeah. Yeah. And so like, I feel like everybody kind of has to, so what's the truth about all that? Like I think tribes matter, you know, tribes and finding your tribe of people. Yeah. I think, whether it be a church, whether it be, a club, the Eagles, right. Or just you go to the gym and you find your tribe there. Yeah. I think that's the key, right? Which I think there's a lot of marketing principles in that. Seth Godin wrote a book that was called Tribes for that very thing. Like you got to create tribes. Yeah. Yeah. Kind of build
ultimately it seems like the main humans will always make the same thing. Mm-hmm. Give me some rope here. Mm-hmm. If it's a tribe, right? It's your family first, and then it could be a tribe. Yeah. Right. But then beyond that, if things start to get codified, you can almost see it as, all right, the tribe became a cult. Mm-hmm. The cult became a religion. The religion became a community, became a society, became a civilization. Mm-hmm. Right. And then that civilization lives and dies like a human being would. Right. And eventually it becomes a myth. Mm. Right. And it's interesting to consider this kind of evolution from family, in sort of a way to extend all the way to the level of myth. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. And I suppose in a way you could think of like really major historical figures like, I don't know, Alexander the Great. There's tons of people you can make the case for where they have this like crazy impact. Right. Yeah. But what it starts with is like this tiny little spark, this little family, and it's interesting though how it's the same thing, right? No matter if it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, we just give it different names. The weird thing is that like I've run into groups where they're in their thing.
Yeah.
And I just happen to show up and witness it.
Yeah.
Right. Football would be an easy example for me because I don't really like football that much. Right. I'll watch a game every now and again, but it's just not my thing. And like, I guess what's weird is it reminds me of being a kid, right? Because when I was a kid, like I didn't have the understanding of self and all these kinds of things that like make it okay as an adult to be like, oh, you guys are into football? Not really my thing, but all right, I'll see you later, you know? But as a kid, I was hurt by that, you know what I mean? Because I really wanted, like anybody else, you know, you want friends, you want to be around people. But in those moments, I'm reminded of that, you know, where I see all the football shit go. Everybody's got a jersey. Yeah. You know, the wives are into it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And all this kind of thing. And I'm just like watching it go by or something. You know?
That's how where I think you and I differ. Because like I could chameleon into whatever scenario.
Yeah. I have trouble.
So like
in those moments, like I'm really happy.
It doesn't matter. Like like that orchestra video I was showing you. Like, I love it. I'm like, oh man, I want to go to an orchestra, you know, event. You know, I want to see a musical. But then I'm also, you know, we're heading into heavy metal festival season. Yeah, and I can't wait to go see the Juggalos and go to their.
I'll never get it, bro.
Completely opposite spectrum. I could fit in with the Juggalos. Right. Or I could put on a suit and tie and hang out with the posh people watching, you know, the orchestra. Yeah. And I love both, and I could go and I could have conversations with both. Yeah, I don't have an issue with that. You know, a lot of people do. I don't have that issue. I like to belong.
I like the experience.
And I used to for the longest time. My issue was, but what is my tribe? If I could fit in anywhere, what is my tribe? And I struggle with that a lot. Yeah, right. Because like I genuinely get along with everybody, you know, and I can fit in.
Kind of the tribe of human experience. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Finally, like I've figured it out, you know? And that's where it's been such a pleasure for me because like finally the MC culture. Yeah. That's my culture. Those are my people.
It's a funny like.
Which is so strange.
It's a funny spot to land.
Yeah, you know right. I mean? It is because you know here I'm an Asian dude. You know, was a pastor. You know, and somehow I landed in the MC, and I love it. Like they get me. I get them. Like it makes sense to me. Yeah. You know, I don't feel like I'm trying to be something I'm not. Yeah. It's the strangest thing.
That is the weirdest thing.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
But I love it. And I love my brothers. I love the culture. I love the family. But in no other time and place I could ever tell my old self and say, you know, when I'm a teen and say, hey, just hang in there. You'll
find a home.
Some fun, rough dudes who ride motorcycles and you're going to love it. Never in a million years.
That's so weird, man. That's so weird. You know, it puts me in mind of we talked about it before, like the resume and the quintessential networking moment of like, you know, tell me your origin story or however, you know, Colin Jeffries is real good at that, man. He's got all those slick words, those phrases. So anyway, so to get to know somebody and you know, hunt for opportunity and all that shit. They kind of read off their resume, right? And to a degree, like if it's how they even describe the resume, you know, you can almost picture like an accountant or an engineer, no offense, but you know, they'll give you the rundown. Okay, I was 2 years here and then I went to do this and then I did that and I got certified. And what about you? And you're like, okay, you know, it's like real surgical. Yeah. Whereas, you know, I'm going to go in and, oh man, I did this. I didn't see this coming. And then I stubbed my toe here and holy shit, I had this opportunity. So even the way you present it, right? It's like, are you telling me a story? Right? But how people get to wherever it is they are, like the majority of the time, I'm surprised.
Well, you know what? Actually, something an aha just hit me right now while you're talking. Because as you were talking, I was thinking like, you know, I kind of had to get down to my root, my core. Yeah. You know, to find the people who I could fit in and I feel most comfortable with. Right. But I think what the aha was that it was more than that. I had to find people who were going to be there when the chips fell.
Yeah.
Right. Like I could go hang out with the orchestra people and love it, genuinely love it, have a fun time. But if something were to happen to me, are you guys going to show up?
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Whereas they might show up for their family or whatever that is. But
right. Yeah. And it occurred to me too, like, that's why, you know, I found my place in the church and I love the church. I'm not dissing the church. Right. But when the chips were down for me, none of them showed up. None of them. In fact, I had one guy tell me, say, hey, can you want to go to dinner? I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, oh, cool. Like somebody's, and he literally said, I'm not that guy. He invited me to dinner to tell me he's not that guy. He used an analogy. He's like, Ernie, you know how like when, let's say you're in a hospital and you're laid up in bed in a hospital. You got the guys who give the cards. You got the guys the people who would show up. Yeah. They won't just give you cards and balloons or whatever. They'll show up and check in on you. And then you have the people they're there every night making sure you're taken care of. Like, I'm not any of those guys. That's what he told me. I'm the guy who will take you out to dinner to let you know that, hey, I'm sorry for you. I feel sorry for you. And then that's it. Right. You'll never see me again.
Damn. At least, dude, he paid for dinner at least.
But he paid for dinner.
All right.
I'm like, hey, at least you're honest.
Yeah, at least you looked me in the eye and said it.
Yeah. And you paid for my dinner.
Right.
But there's all these other guys who say, hey, I'm there for you. I'll be praying for you, man. Hey, I'm here. Just never heard from him. I'm like, you know what? Fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
At least this guy was honest. He literally said, I am not that guy. I am this guy. I'll take you out to dinner and send you off.
That's funny. That's funny.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I think so. To me, I feel like a true tribe those are the people you don't just connect with, but they understand the core of who you are and they're going to show up when the chips are down.
Yeah. Yeah. When the chips are down moments, like,
notice when you're not around.
Right.
Like, man, I haven't seen Chris in a long time.
Yeah.
Well, see ya. It's like, hey, Chris, what's going on, man? I haven't seen you.
Right. The check-in. Are
you good? You know, I can swing by, pick you up.
So you said the bar, right? So, like, go to a bar and nobody notices you're gone. Right. That's one. This
was the neat experience for me, right?
Yeah.
So when I was going through all that stuff, I went to church. Again, failure after failure after failure. People are saying, why are you here at church?
Right. Jesus.
Yeah. Why are you here at church? You know, you got to get your marriage figured out.
Why are you here?
Yeah. And I'm like,
not for any fucking help, jerk off.
That's exactly what I said. Yeah. I'm like, I'm here for help. Right. Okay. Where am I supposed to go?
We'll think.
I literally have to look at this guy and say that.
Right.
You know, well, you know, you have your marriage problems you got to deal with. I'm like, okay, but in the meantime, where am I supposed to be?
Right.
Right. And so then I go to the bar, and I had a really unique situation where it was a really cool crowd of people, regulars, who were not old. They were all young, you know, and we're all going through shit.
Right.
And they would text me and they'd say, hey, man, we haven't seen you in a while.
Oh, okay. All right.
Or, you know, you shouldn't be alone.
Yeah.
You know,
a bit of a Cheers kind of vibe.
Right. Like a Cheers vibe. You shouldn't be alone. Come on out, hang out with us.
Right.
And I was like, man, this is really cool. Like, I am experiencing love and compassion from people who they get it because they're going through shit too, you know, and we all get along, right? And so I remember I had that like two different experiences, and that's why I am where I am now, because like then finally, you know, again when I found the MC and the Steel Militia guys, and like they get it.
Yeah,
we're not all perfect,
right?
You know, we got blemishes, but we have commonality. You know, we have families we love. We have bikes that we love to ride. We're gonna ride with each other. And hey, if we're somewhere and you know, we have to throw hands, they're there to throw hands.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was at a bar, not the group that I typically hang out with. I was there to celebrate a friend.
Right.
But there's this jerk at the bar like literally, like he was causing a ruckus, touching people and all sorts of things right next to us.
Okay.
And I remember, and I'm like, okay, as the night goes on, he's drinking more. He's getting more and more obnoxious. And I'm like, I could already foresee, like, this is going to be bad.
Right.
It's going to be really bad.
Right.
And so I go to this one guy who's tall, power lifter and everything. He's huge.
Right.
And I go, hey man, we got to be prepared because this guy's not doing well. If he touches one of our women or he does something, do you got my back? Because I'm going to, we're going to have a problem here.
Right.
And he's literally said, no, I'm not that guy. He's like, I'm the guy who kind of watches everything and breaks everything up. Like, hey guys. Like,
he's the cooler.
And I'm like, yeah. Right. I'm like, really, dude?
Right.
And at that moment, I kept thinking like, see, I would never get that response from my brothers in MC.
Yeah.
Never.
Right.
They will ask questions later.
Right.
Like, what happened? What did you do?
Why did we just
slam this guy's face in the pool table?
Right.
We'll ask questions later, but in the meantime, we got your back now.
Yeah.
And so I think it's more than just commonalities.
Yeah.
Like I found guys who like motorcycles. Cool.
Right.
No. It's like I found a tribe who I'm there when you're down. Or if something happens, we'll ask questions later, but we got you. We got your back.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that something like that is important in any tribe.
I agree.
Maybe not fighting and all that, to that extent.
No.
But like we got you. And we notice when you're gone.
I think that's an interesting like sentiment, right? We notice when you're gone. Like that could be that's kind of the tagline. Yeah. I heard one. I think we might have talked about it. I'll say it again. This kind of analogy, I guess, in the male experience, right, with their friends, right? It was kind of like you're not going to have them. And it was figurative, it wasn't literal, but you're not going to have them to fight with you, meaning fight the battles of life, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to literally jump in as if it was a barroom brawl, right? And they shouldn't, right? Because then you yourself won't gain anything as a result, right? You're not going to have your mettle tested. You're not going to rise and overcome this obstacle in front of you, right? So it's like, what are your friends doing for you then if they're not there to help you out, right? And it's like, well, if you're in a fight and it's almost kind of a gentleman's agreement with life that it's like one-on-one, so to speak, or, at least in this little analogy, this allegory, then it's like, well, your friends are in there to like call the shot, like a cornerman, right? And it's like, he's keeping his fucking left hand down, you know what I mean? Or they kick you, like a gladiator type thing, kick the knife to you, you know what I mean? Like, fucking here, bro, you know what I mean?
Right.
But it's those kind of moments that I think it's like, it's the balance of nobody held your hand per se or did it for you, right? Because that's not going to help you. And nobody left you alone either, right? And so somewhere in the in-between is just that perfect thing. Like if maybe my son, I don't think he would ever do this, but if he ever asked that kind of a question, like how do I be a good friend, to my male friends, right? It's like, I would tell him that story. It's like, well, you got to help him call the shots, right? If the bitch looks crazy, I know she's hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I know she's hot, bro. I get it.
Yeah.
I have eyes.
Yeah.
But she's fucking crazy. Run. You know what I mean? So you got to be there for your boy, right?
Right.
And so, so then what does the friend do? He tests her out, tries to get the number off her when homie's not around. And then your boy is like, dude, she's loosey-goosey, man, get away from that. So, but it's like, so you be there and kind of call the shots for him, but don't do the job for him. Somebody needs work. You don't just necessarily, pay their bill for them per se, but it's like, I'll find something for you, man. So, anyways, I saw that probably within the past 2 months. Something like, it was like a YouTube short, something like that. But it was just an interesting idea on how to. I wish I had known that as a younger man. A lot of these kind of almost commonplace things that I see usually on YouTube and social media. I'm like, damn, that's a really good fucking idea, And they're usually based on books that I haven't read yet or quotes that I've heard. And I'm like,
Yeah.
What, you know, and I've been smacking my head into the brick wall for like 45 years already, you know, like, fuck, man, I wish I heard that at 22.
Yeah, right. I think if I would ever like think of writing another book, I'd probably want to focus on this whole tribe concept that Seth Godin wrote about, and explore that more, because that, to me, it's fascinating. And I think like there's so many applications to it in marketing too.
Oh my God.
Because like everybody, like I think of some of our clients, you know, that they're all just trying to create their tribes.
Yeah,
right?
And I mean, it's called culture,
even like
business culture.
You know, one of the largest gyms that we work with, and you know, they're creating tribes within the tribe.
Yeah,
you know, the spin class, the you know, the weightlifter tribe, right? And then you have, you know, some of the franchises we work with, they're creating their tribes.
Yeah,
right, and trying to understand like what matters to that tribe, safety, you know. Education or whatever it might be. There's so many different aspirations of that within that tribe itself. Yeah. And each tribe is different, right? It's fascinating to me. And because especially now when the buzzwords, it's been like this for the past decade or more, is relationships. It's all about relationships. Yeah. You know, you look at even the B&I that we're a part of, that's a tribe. Such a tribe. And you have to have some rules, and you got to have some
cult.
Right, it's a cult. You got to build
ritual.
Right. Like, don't you guys when they initiate, they drink Kool-Aid, or they get a Kool-Aid
for the
packet?
Uninitiated, we make them drink Kool-Aid because, and even when I pitch it, you haven't seen, since I've been president, you haven't seen me do the thing, but our boy D-Mac, shout out Jason D-Mac. Who's got his time in this networking thing. You know, whether he likes it or not, I still make fun of the idea. I'm like, all right, you know, my intro and blah, blah, blah. And for anybody who's, you know, not sure, this is a cult, you know? And I kind of call it out because I think it's funny, right? We're not really making anybody drink sheep's blood or anything, but I think that acknowledging that it's a structured little group. It's a structured culture, right? You've got to drink the Kool-Aid because it works. Yeah, it works if you drink the Kool-Aid and you're all in. You've got to buy. If you're starting to question everything, question the way the meetings run, question doing all the wind sprints, the one-to-ones, it's not going to work for you. It's not. You're not doing the thing. All in. It's some other thing, right? It's like if you play the blues, right? There's 12 bar blues, and there's not 13 bar blues. It's 12. Yeah, you got a certain structure of chords, and it goes that way. There's parameters. You could work within those parameters, but you got to stay with. It has to be that in the bounds of the rules. Yeah. So I mean, there's tribes all over the place, like, you know, and relationships and finding a commonality. But with those, trust is important, right? Yeah. The mantra, know, like, and trust. Know, like, and trust. You know, is so important. And whether it be in jiu-jitsu, whether it be in the MC life, whether it be in church, there's a bit of a know, like, and trust piece that's necessary there. Yeah. Without trust, that's it. Yeah. You know, you can't build a tribe off of. Yeah, that's weird, man. I'm trying to think now that you're saying this. I'm trying to think of maybe jobs I've had. Or well, let's say jobs, I guess, is easy. Particularly as a younger person, you know, delivering furniture and delivering pizza and all that stupid shit, you know, working at Wawa and shit. And we're like, basically we're in trust, you know, and it's kind of different because, you know, you're not invested, right? Like here, we're invested, man. You know, I this got to work. You know, we're all gonna make this work, right? But if I'm working at Wawa, you know, cutting up lunch meat for sandwiches and but you know what's interesting chips, though? So I would if that were the case though. Yeah. But then why are there other examples where it seems like the employees are invested and it's no different really? Like for example, Chick-fil-A. Oh my God. But that culture is like you're saying. Yeah. Like, man, they hire the right people. Yeah. Like they really drank the Kool-Aid or ate the chicken, I guess you could say. Like, yeah, I agree with you. Like one of the things they one tactic I know Chick-fil-A does, I don't know if all the locations do this,
but I heard from one of the franchise managers, that they'll give like free sandwiches or whatever to, and have these tickets. They'll give it to the school, and they say reward those who've gotten A's or whatever, good students.
Yeah.
So they'll hand it out, and then these students come to claim their sandwich.
Okay.
Which they know, oh, you're a good student because you got this award.
Yeah.
So they say, are you looking for a job? We would love to interview you.
That's a whole little feeder
And so
right there.
now they're hiring people who are sharp. They're responsible because they're taking care of their grades.
Right.
They're getting, they've been awarded because of great behavior and, scholastic, success or what have you, that they're hiring the right people who they do take ownership and believe, because it's not just a restaurant I'm working at. It's me, right? And I need to put my best into this.
That's okay. Let's compare that, right? Like McDonald's and Burger King, never gonna hear this, but like I've worked at both many, many times in my life, right? Particularly when I was in high school. Right? My dad was a GM there, and and they ain't doing none of that shit. There's some wild people working at both of those places, right? And the Wendy's and everything else. Where you just, that's kind of the other side of it, where maybe not trust. I don't know if that's the right word, but there's no belief. What I mean? There's no.
It's just clock in, clock out.
Burger,
make this burger.
Just in fact, it's the frustration that comes down. Not for the most part. I've never had anybody get wild on me, like yelling in my face, kind of thing, or nothing. But the moments of like desperately asking me to do, right, as a young person, 18, 17, 16, and you can tell they're 30 something, 40 something, 50 something, and it's just make the fucking burger right. You know what I mean? And there's no way to communicate it. They know you don't give a damn. You're just like, is it 5:30 yet? I need to go right now.
Right.
And it makes for a funny and interesting workplace sometimes, right? When that's not there, right? Because people do wild shit. But yeah, tribe. Tribe. I like that.
The culture within a tribe, I think, is fascinating to me. Yeah. The people that are kind of gravitate to certain interests.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know why, but it's because we're thinking about restaurants. Remember the movie Waiting?
Mm-mm.
Really? With Ryan Reynolds and that comedian back in the day. Shit, I can't remember his name now. He plays one of the cooks. Anyway, and Luis Guzman is also the head chef. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he's hilarious. I know.
It's hilarious. So, anyways, it's a no spoiler alert. It's a movie about. Every time. It is 26 years old. I don't care. I'm still doing it. So it's a restaurant and it's all filled with wild characters. And we basically get one day in the life of, I think it's one day, in the life of a new hire, right? I can't remember the guy's name anywhere, but this one hire, and it's kind of like him, never has a chance to speak, right? And they're all just have these dumb, like there's inside jokes and like, this one lady, and they're all just caricatures of people we've all known. Like if anybody's worked even close to the restaurant business, you're like, oh yeah, dude, the chef people, fucking wild, bro. They're doing all the drugs. Then they have these two young characters who are like just bus boys, cleaning the garbage, and they're like blasted out of their mind in the fridge, doing whippets so all the whipped cream is gone, right? And then one of the old grumpy waitresses, she goes to like do somebody's sundae and realizes it's all gone. Why? They're both in there like So anyways, the culture though of it is this weird kind of camaraderie people have and dealing with this like really pressure, it sucks working in a restaurant, man. People yelling at you and shit and being dicks. And so the running connected thing is the joke where they're like showing their junk to each other, right? Which all the dudes are doing. And it's hilarious. But it is funny how even that is a little culture. And not only that, but it comes with its myth too, right? Where like we've all had those spots where you get to a restaurant, a job, or whatever, and then you hear about the guy, like, oh shit. I heard that the guy who washes dishes, bro, he's a fucking Green Beret. You know what I mean? So it's always something wild. Like he killed 5 people with a pencil. You're like, what?
What?
For real, bro? It's usually bullshit.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, man. Yeah. I've run into those plenty of times, and I love that, man. I love finding caricatures of people. I work for a guy named Rich at a furniture store. One of the most ridiculous people I've ever worked for. Is threatened by the mafia for insulting mobster's wife, right? Like he was a wild boy, right?
I'm thinking about as you're thinking, I'm thinking of all the tribes I'm all part of. Because I think of, obviously there's the work tribe, right? Then I have the MC tribe, and then I got even my Ohio tribe. I'm all about make Ohio's name great again.
Sure, yeah.
But I love anything in Ohio. I always take a month to know. Oh yeah, he's from Ohio. Oh yeah, that guy's from Ohio.
Marilyn Manson's from
and then
Ohio.
I'm a Browns fan, so I'm a Cleveland tribe.
Yeah.
And then I got the USA tribe. That's why I love Olympics, because it's like, yeah, USA.
I haven't checked too, bro. I don't even know where we're at on the gold. I know
we're like third or fourth in terms of number of medals. We're low on gold.
We're low.
Italy's doing great. I don't think they're number 1, but the host country is doing great.
Whatever.
But this USA, and then I even think of could I say Western world, like NATO, because
it exists anymore.
Yeah, because I'm pro England, I'm pro this, but we're kind of taught through entertainment and that anti-Russia, anti-China, I'm not anti. I don't really, but we are. I mean, we're raised to.
Dude, I mean,
all
Rocky
the bad
IV,
guys are North Koreans, Chinese,
North
Russians.
Korea, I will say, seems pretty rough.
Yeah,
right. I think the Chinese are getting the Chinese people are getting a bad rap.
Oh yeah. And that's same with Russian, right?
Yeah, Russian people are getting a bad rap.
Absolutely. I had Russian friends. I've been to China. China's a beautiful country.
I just want everybody to stop fucking around with all that, man. Like when I look at the countries that are traditionally, with a rare exception, are traditionally against us, I can't go there. Right? I just can't, right, as an American. But some of the coolest places on earth, bro.
Oh yeah.
Come on, stop it.
Yeah.
Why?
I've had years ago, I used to have just Russian friends and stuff like that. Man,
a lot of Russians.
Beautiful country, beautiful culture. I love them. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, the governments don't get along, and it's come on, man.
I just want, if I had magical powers like that, I'd just take all the government. I don't even know what that means, right? I'm an idiot. I don't know what that means, but just take all the government, right? Lift them up just with my hands, and everybody just starts floating, right? And just kind of, I don't know, coalesce them gently, right? I'm not just going to squish them like bugs, but gently put them down.
Yeah.
And then back to the TV shows, right? Here's my reality show. And then, fine. You guys want to fucking fight about who's got the oil and all this other horse shit? All right. You jerk-offs go on this island, right? You're going to Madagascar. Right. I'm sorry, Madagascar. Well, the world's going to pay
there you go. There's
your
reality TV show.
And then but there's no knives. There's no guns.
Just put all these people on an island.
Just everybody gets a toga or some shit. Just some loincloth, right? Everybody, all of them, indiscriminate. Go ahead. Everybody from JD Vance. I don't even.
Yeah, but the human nature, though. Everybody. You know what's going to happen. Lord of the Flies. Yeah. That's what's going to happen, dude. Within that island, they're going to create their own
little
factions, and then they're going to.
But then the funny thing in
that's just how people are.
They're not going to.
It's sad.
They're not going to, because I don't think that they would get along. Is my point, right? If you put what's his face over in North Korea,
I gotta tell you
just. Throw them all in there and let them hack each other apart. We can have all the good stuff.
This reminded me of this clip. Have you ever seen Key and Peele, where I always forget which one's which? Is Key the taller guy, and the Peele's the taller guy?
I don't know. I forget.
Well, anyways, the taller guy.
The tall guy, yeah.
He's
hilarious.
He's in prison, right? He just enters into prison, and he's trying to figure out which gangs to hang out with.
I might have seen that.
So
Yeah.
because you got to have protection, so you got to align yourself. So,
but he does kind of look a little mixed, right?
right.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but what he does, and none of the other guys know this, is he picks the black guys,
Yeah.
but not because they're black,
Okay.
because they're bald, and he's bald.
That's so stupid. That's so dumb.
Yeah, and so it's funny is that like if somebody or any bald guy. So if there's anybody's picking on a bald guy,
Hey,
he's like, hey, come on. But none of them are like, you're on our side. What are you fighting me for? Oh no, that's right. He didn't pick the black guy. He picked the white guys,
Right.
Because the black guys had like hair and some like froze or whatever.
Right.
But the white guys were all bald. So he's like, hey, don't mess with my brothers. And then the white guys are beating him up like, we're not your brothers. He's like, but you're bald.
and they're probably like skinheads and shit.
Right.
That's hilarious.
So he picked it off of how much hair
That's
they
so
have,
stupid, bro.
not on the
That's
skin
so-
color.
They're so funny, dude.
They are.
Oh man.
But like that's how we are though. If you put all these people on an island, we're gonna try to figure out how to.
Yeah.
We're gonna faction off.
But in that, at least we'll get all the baddies out, right? Like in other words, like when I think about, and of course we won't.
I mean, didn't England kind of do that?
To get the criminals? Yeah, they got the criminals. They didn't get. I'm talking about the kings.
Oh,
right? I want
you're
the
talking about
kings
the
and
kings.
presidents. No. I don't. I want all the kings and presidents.
Yeah.
I want the governments of the world. Be like, I'm going to airlift you out, right?
That
by
would be a
magic,
good reality
and then
show.
here, right? Go
Yeah.
ahead, Joe Biden and fucking what's his face, Kim from North Korea, and all of them. Go ahead, sort it out.
Yeah,
I want to see how this works. You don't get any weapons. There's no knives. There's no guns.
Yeah.
Let's see how your bullshit goes now.
Yeah,
right?
all of a sudden they're trying to find food together.
Yeah,
trying to build
or not, or they're still being dicks. but the reality show, the funnier part to it, right, is then it's like, well, what kind of skills do you have then?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, how are you the leader of men, right? If you're this petty, political,
That would be an
backstabby
interesting
little
movie to
bastard,
make.
you know?
Like you get like Trump, Putin.
Yeah.
You get all these guys all in one island.
Dude,
All right.
all of them. Yeah, here you go.
Survivor.
But without their wares, what are they really?
Yeah.
You know, now they're just like old, out of shape men, just talking shit to each other. You know what I mean? Like, you got nothing.
You got nothing now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, in my world.
That would be a fun watch, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know who'd win. We should put that in ChatGPT. Say if we created a show, like a Survivor show, presidential edition,
Current political,
and we put all the political leaders in an island with no weapons, no nothing. Ask ChatGPT, who do you think will win? Like, will be left standing, or what do you think will happen?
How deep? So it depends on how deep in the government you go. Here's why.
No, I'm just saying the leaders, kings, presidents, queens,
prime minister,
anybody who's in the leadership authority. We should ask them after we get off this. Throw them into an island. What draft some scenarios of what would potentially happen. Yeah. Who would win, or what does winning or success look like?
Yeah, what is winning? That's really that's the existential kind of question. What does winning even look like?
Yeah,
right. Because I've never said that you'll get off the island. Right?
No,
in my little game, it's like I basically want them all to fight to the death in my head.
Or will they fight?
Or
will they finally come to peace?
Right.
And they would say, okay, we're stuck here. We have no food, guys.
Right.
We either we kill each other or we try to survive together.
Right.
But
isn't that?
And then if they, if they're stuck there, so the game scenario is you're stuck there forever.
Right.
Do you create a government?
Right.
Do you have leaders? Do they fight for? No, I'm the king. Or do you create a democracy?
What a fascinating. So to follow that experiment, right? What if? Okay, so everybody's armed with like I just saw the movie, The Running Man, right? The Running Man. I think it's floating cameras, right? And just
is that one with that one blonde hair actor?
Yeah.
I'm not sure yet. I'm still on the fence with whether I like him.
Top Gun.
Glenn something.
Something like that. He looks like a Glenn. But everybody's got the camera on him, right? Okay, so the whole world's watching, right? Here's where it maybe turns a positive table, right? Where let's imagine that the world leaders are all there. And by the way, let's hope they all speak good enough English, this, that, the other, right? But anyway, let's say they're down to the point where like, man, we're starving to death. We've got to work together.
Yeah.
Right. What I would be interested in is the meta moment of them realizing that we're all going to just kill each other or get along.
Yeah.
And that them as a proxy to their people would like, they would realize that in real time, that that's the sentiment you need to be a great leader. In other words, when you get back home, right? Or if you could lead from that little island, it's like, now you've got the right idea.
Yeah.
Where either we are going to kill each other or we all have to learn to get along.
Yeah.
And like, but we, the people of the citizens of the world, don't have to suffer through all your stupid bullshit in the meantime. You know what I mean? So it's like, you can learn your hard lesson as the leader, right? And then maybe it'll kind of wash away all their stupidity, all their pettiness. You know, again, a thought experiment, right?
I'm going to ask ChatGPT after this.
But no.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Whew. I don't know if we concluded anything, people, but damn it, we did it.
Tribes.
A book is forthcoming. I like that idea. All right, let's call it from there. So, from the iconic era of advertising to the digital age, I'm Chris.
And I'm Ernie.
Keep it legendary.